Okay, in the continuing effort to try to find the right brake shoes for this nice looking T120, we've discovered that according to everybody in the world, these are the correct shoes for that bike. Nice and wide. These are the shoes that came out of the bike, very narrow. This is the plate that came out of the bike. It has these vertical supports here that actually match these old shoes beautifully. So they were made to fit on there and rest on the verticals, like so. These new shoes wouldn't do that because they would never sit flat. They would sit on the vertical and be at an angle. So there was no way these new shoes that are guaranteed to be for this bike are correct for this backing plate. So I went down to my good buddy's place, and he had this backing plate from an earlier model, and these shoes are going to fit in here just fine. I'm going to take the lever and the post out of my old backing plate and put them into this new backing plate, which doesn't have the vertical supports, and they will work just fine, I sincerely believe. Okay, so that's the plan. Now the reason, I'll show you over here on the bike itself. Look at the difference in width. And here's the brake drum, and these are the new. So you're using the full width of the brake drum with these new shoes. Whereas before, it was only using about half that brake drum. So you were giving up about half of the braking power of the bike. So what we're doing here is worthwhile to get the bigger, better brake shoes in, using a different backing plate, which might be the right one for this bike. This might be the wrong one for this bike. We just don't know. And you really, I don't know, maybe you can tell by looking in the parts books, but the pictures aren't great. So anyway, that's the plan. This comes out, goes in here. This comes out, goes in here. These new shoes are going to go in here. And I think, that that's going to solve the front braking problems the client reported, which were basically rotten, ineffective, not working front brakes. This should solve that problem. We'll find out. I'll let you know how it goes in the next video. All right, I put the new shoes on the new plate, fit perfectly. Nice and level, looking good. The old plate with the old shoes. Not sure what I'll do with those. I mean, I'll toss the shoes, probably give the plate to Roger for his collection for another bike that may use it. This guy's all put together. And come on over here, and I'll try to do this one-handed. I did this already last night. And it fits in very nicely. There it is. Isn't that great? So that's done. Should have good brakes. We'll put this back on the bike in just a few minutes. Maybe do a test ride when Kevin gets here. All right, Kevin just did a test ride. Came back from an extended test ride up and around the mountain. Residential streets. Rear brake is wonderful. Front brake is not wonderful. It's just, first of all, look at this action on the lever. It's just mushy. See that? It's not solid. That might be the cable, because the cable has one of these inline brake switches built into it, and that has a rubber insert in it. And I've never liked them, but that's what we have to live with. So we replaced the brake mounting plate, put in brand new full-size front brakes, brand new, Rode it long enough for those brakes to settle in, at least some, and apparently they haven't. So, we've tried everything else. I'm going to buy a new brake cable and see if that makes a difference. In the meantime, look at how the front is collapsed on this bike. Kevin, you push down and pull back up, and it stays down. It does not come back by itself. And on top of that, now that we've ridden the bike, this brake seal over here, fork seal, thank you, is leaking like a sieve. I mean, it's just coming right down there. So I've ordered new brake seals, new fork seals for the bike. And when they come in, we will take the front end apart and see why there's so much stiction there that the bike won't respond by itself. When we have that out, we'll have the brakes out. We'll look at the brake pads. I'm tempted to send those brake pads, even though they're brand new, to a relining service and have them relined with a softer, more grabby fabric. I know a really good one in Las Vegas. They do a good job. And I've been told there's one in town here, and I'll ask around and see if I can find them. But the front end on this bike is definitely a problem. So, in order, we're getting a new brake cable. We're getting new fork seals, and we're going to examine these brand new brake shoes one more time and try to decide what to do. The fun just never stops.